Hello, in this video I will be giving a brief explanation on the aces, also known as the ones in the tarot deck. And here we have it. So one of the things that I've mentioned before in other videos is that as a reader, it is really beneficial to your querent or your client for you to have a lot of tools in your toolbox. So having some understanding about the numbers and the numerology concept, which is really in essence knowledge of what I would say the esoteric significance of numbers. And in it you will learn that the numbers have vibration, a certain energy to each one. And the more that you become familiar with it, you begin to feel that there is a journey from the 0, the 1, through the 2, the 3, etc. till you get to 9. And then what happens is that as you get the double digits or bigger numbers, you can always condense it back to one of these basic numbers, 1 through 9. So we're going to be focusing on the number 1. And one of the things about the number 1 is that it is really the number of unity. And in a biblical sense, the number 1 has a unifying energy to it, as it is the number that everything is emanating from. It is the source of its creation. So even though there's that song that 1 is a lonely number, the thing is that from it, there's so much that is pulled to it or from it at the same time. So having said that, one thing that I wanted to share with you before I go into the aces is that they are not the only players that represent the number 1 in the tarot deck. In the minor arcana, which this aces are in that group, we also have the 10s. And the 10s is a amplified version of the aces, kind of because if you take 1 plus 0, it will give you 1, the base number. But as you can see, what we came in here as a beginning force now has taken us through some journey, some experiences in the area of its suit, which we will go through in a little bit. But more, it's really about the numbers. And I want you to see that there are other cards that represent the number 1 in an amplified way, such as the 10 of Swords. And here we have all the energies that's represented in the swords. So in that, it is now magnified even more, which has to do with manifestations of the intellect, of wisdom, of knowledge. So we have that amplified. We also have the 10 of Cups. And in here, again, it is all the energy that is associated with the cups. So we are talking about the magnified or the multiples of the energy here of spirituality, of relationships, of emotions expressed to even a deeper and greater level. In the ones is also represented by the 10 of Pentacles. Again, all the attributes and characteristics of the Pentacles are represented here. So we are all in that material realm. And that's what we have here, the manifestations of finance, abundance, career, opportunities, everything that's with the physical plane. And then also here we have the 1 as the 10 of Wands here. And what we have here are all this multiplied energy of passions and desires and ideas that have now taken up a greater meaning in that process of signifying movement forward and change. So now we also have 1 represented in other cards in the major arcana, such as the Magician. And here we could see all this here. We see the number 1 over here. And I do have a tutorial on how to interpret the Magician. So I'm just going to go basic over here so that we can go back to the aces. So here, the Magician showing up is a representative of that number 1. So we're talking about the manifestations and that creative force moving forward with that impulse of action. So definitely we see this here, creativity, and a lot of action here. Then we also have the Wheel of Fortune, and that's the number 10. 1 plus 0 takes us back to that base number of 1. And interesting because the number 10 is right at that halfway point of a 22 major arcana deck. So there we have signaling now at that midway point about the changes that may be ahead in the future. So definitely we can see that the number ones are pushing us forward for more creativity and more opportunities and just more about that progress and change. And then we also see it interpreted here in the sun with the number 19. 1 plus 9 is 10. Then you take the 10, 1 plus 0 is 1. So we're back to that base number of 1. And in the sun, we see this beautiful, beautiful energy about new beginnings. And, you know, that transformation that we are now moving forward before we end up with those 2 critical cards that complete the journey before we start that cycle all over again. So definitely we've come a long way here, and it is about creativity, it's about new beginnings, and it's about rebirth. So there you have that. So now let's go really quick with the aces again, and just a quick highlight as we look at the aces in the minor arcana. So with the swords, we are with the air element, and we are associating this with, well, Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. And we can see that there is a common theme in the aces, and that common theme, as you can see, there's a hand, a powerful big hand coming from the heavens, holding either the club, a cup, a pentacle, and it's floating down in the clouds, being presented with this opportunity, with this idea, with this relationship, whatever it is of its suit. It is one of the most powerful cards on the minor arcana deck. And so here, as we're looking at the Ace of Swords, we see that everything associated with the swords is here. So the element is air, and we also have the association for the zodiac, for the air, which is Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. And we could pretty much see here that the swords and wands are going to be our masculine cards. So this is masculine energy here. And as we're interpreting the Ace of Swords, we are looking at new beginnings with ideas, new opportunities with way of thinking, maybe a new decision that now is going to give clarity to something very, very positive in the future. And one thing that we can say with the aces, that it is a yes card. The aces is definitely a yes card about something that is being presented from a higher place to you, that it is coming with this thing that will generate forward momentum. You still have to take action, that's one thing, but it is confirming that this is a good thing to initiate. This is a good thing to move forward with. This is a good decision to make. This is a great idea to espouse. This is definitely all coming in because you will have the ability to move forward with truth and good judgment in the decisions that you will need to make. As you could see reflected in the sword, with the ability to cut through whatever red tape is there, because the path is for you to make clear as it's coming from a higher place. So you've got a very powerful yes here with these ideas as we are connecting with that intellect. So who knows, depending on what other cards are around it, that is giving you the yes, that this is a good movement forward with that decision you're going to be making. So there you have that. As we move forward now to our next ace card, presented here in the Ace of Cups, this is a feminine energy that we are here. And of course, with the Ace of Cups, we are talking about our water signs, our Cancer, our Scorpio, and our Pisces. And here as well, we see very, very again, the same cloud and the hand presenting that cup to you and or to your querent. And it's with this blessing of spirituality and this guidance. So it's like double the power, double whatever that is associated with our cups, which is relationships, which is a good feeling in expanded spirituality and more self-awareness. So this is a great message as far as with the cups, talking about that, yes, this is a relationship that's about to have good blessings moving forward. This is your feeling, the feelings you're getting on this is spot on about whatever it is that you're moving forward with. So here is a blessing about all these things that are coming, even with the spiritual awareness that you're receiving. You're getting blessings from above with a lot of the things that you're feeling about doing and feeling about yourself and about a relationship that may be manifesting. So with that, then we also have here the Ace of Pentacles, and this again associated in its earth sign with the elements of the zodiac of Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. And here it's all about probably everything we want. Anything that's related with the material plane, from the physical body to finances to home-related matters. This card is the beginning of that and the opportunity to embark on making these things a reality and having them manifest in your life now. And lastly, we have the Ace of Wands. And again, we see this wand, this idea, this passion, this desire coming through from a higher force. So it's just giving you the torch to just fire your passions with whatever it is. And maybe, again, by looking at all the other cards around it, it's about getting fired up about the things you want in your life, and that they're going to blossom into reality. As you can see, the blessings are coming from a higher place for you to initiate this. So the new beginning, new ideas, new desires, and new passions in your life. So here we have it with the beautiful cards. And one thing with the number one, when we think about the one and unity, the number one is that beginning, the monad, the first. And in the Bible, in the book of Deuteronomy, there in chapter 6, it says, the Lord our God is one. And so with that, I'll see you in the next video for number 2.